welcome to the gallery. I'm your host, Brianna Gustafson, and today I'm here with Sedona Summer, who is our Artist of the Month at the Media Center for October and November. Thanks for being here today, Sedona.
Thanks, Brianna. It's really great to be here.
So far, your artwork has already brightened up our hallways.
Oh,
it's just
nice.
so beautiful. Our whole conference room is decorated, so
Yes.
thank you. Tell me about yourself as an artist.
Well, I was recognized as having some talent when I was in the 3rd grade. My art teacher at the time had given us an assignment of painting some figures out in the outdoors, and I painted a little boy and a little girl ice skating, and I did it with charcoal. It was our first time using charcoal, so it was just a black and white sketch. And when I finished, she kept going over my shoulder and checking out my progress, and she didn't say anything until I finished, and then she was going to send me to the principal's office. And I was getting kind of nervous. I didn't know if I was in trouble or what. But she said, no, I want him to see the good work you did. So I very timidly rolled up my work and walked that long, dark hall down to the principal's office and told the secretary what I was there for, and it turned out that the principal was standing in the doorway to his office, and he said, okay, show me what you did, and I unrolled it and held it there for him, and he was delighted. I mean, I've never seen the principal really smile like that before, and he just kept just said to me, keep up the good work. And it was like the first time I got any accolades for anything, and as a young child, you're always looking for that supposed talent that everyone gets one. So I guess that was mine, and I just was, excited about it. And then as time went on, my mother's brother, older brother, recognized my talent as well. He was a New York banker in Manhattan, and he enrolled me in those mail-away art classes. So I did that for a couple years, and as time went on, more and more art teachers kept recognizing me. I wasn't that good at maybe writing about a book report, but if I did a cover for my book report, I would get an A++ on the book report cover and a C+ on the written work.
So you were a very creative learner from the start, and you're obviously still very creative today. I mean, look at this artwork. Every piece is different, and I think that's what people like. I think your reception is going to be really successful. You're going to have a lot of stories to tell.
Yes.
That's going to be great.
Thank you.
Tell me about the different techniques that you use. It looks like some of your artwork is, maybe drawing or sketches, and then the other ones are paintings.
Well, I wanted to try different things, but I learned early on. I started with crow quill pen and ink doing my sketches, and then I would go back and color them in, and I tried to dilute acrylic into a watercolor, so I would get the effect of watercolor, but if you understand that acrylic dries pretty quickly, so there's less chance of bleed, but I wanted a little. So I remember complaining to my art teacher when I was put in an art show with mixed medium because I used pen and ink and acrylic. I was next to wood and tin sculptures or some other odd product, and I didn't like that about being put in an art show with a mixed medium. So I complained to my art teacher that I would want to change, and he said, don't you dare. This is your technique. It's unique to you. It's who you are. So I stuck with it. I've honored that part of what my talent was. But then when I also wanted to do canvases, I didn't want to do oil because as I experimented with oil, it takes so many days to dry. So again, the acrylic was the right thing to do. But I like to find a different technique every time I do something. I'll take a cup, for example, a glass cup, and put paint on the rim, and then stamp the cup on the pitcher to get a different effect. Or I'm always hunting for something with a spray can. How would that come out different this time? And I experiment with splatter and drip, as you can see. So I just enjoy making something out of nothing.
That's awesome. Experimenting is great. Now, you started at such a young age. What would you say to other young, creative kids who are thinking about art as a career or, sticking with that creative niche that they have?
I would encourage them just to not get too concerned about any way being right or wrong. Just have fun with it. Just play. And that's all I ever did. I didn't do it to try to make money. I just did it out of a passionate love for the end result. It's like, to me, every piece I ended up doing was a masterpiece. And it was hard to part with them. And I also found it really hard to put a price on things. For the longest time, my work, I just wanted to give it away as a gift. So that's a challenge, but other people probably won't have that problem.
That's awesome. And so on top of being an artist, you are an illustrator. Tell us a little bit about your book and the illustrations in it.
Thank you, Brianna. My book cover is the picture behind me. The book is titled Free Your Soul. And in the painting, the illustration that's behind me, I drew this back in '91, and it's one of a 3-part series of paintings that go along with what I discovered was the cycle of life. And this is the final piece. This is the end result of the cycle. The first one would be life happens. And whatever happens to you, you've got to laugh and be joyous, because it's really for your own good, whether you realize it or not. And then you get up in that happiness and you dance with whatever life brings you. And that's the second painting in the series, is the girl dancing with the water. And the final stage of the cycle is this one here behind me, as I said, and it's overcoming all your obstacles. And in the picture there's a mountain, and I depicted the mountain as her life, and it's purples and pinks in the rocks, which shows that she's had a beautiful life. And as she reaches the top of the mountain, she realizes that she has become strong and courageous. And she's also been able to maintain her beauty and her sensuality. Her hair is graying, as I depicted it, with the gray and the black stripes and the white stripes in her hair. And that shows the wisdom that she accumulated through her life. And then this energy burst that's coming out, going out into the universe, is exuding from within her. In China, they call that energy Qi. In India, they call it Shakti. But most of us here in America refer to that energy as life force energy. So that's what I wanted her to do, is just to show that inner expression of who she is and share that with the world. So the energy bursts drop down back, they separate, and they come down to the earth in the hopes that other people will be affected by her feelings and her energy. And that is, in such a way that if you could walk forward in life with some humble assuredness, wouldn't that be grand to just share that feeling with as many people as you could, and possibly bring them up a level in their spiritual development as well, and perhaps influence them in some way to also have that same kind of courage and assuredness.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And I think you just proved that a picture is worth 1,000
Oh yeah,
words.
we talk a lot.
So talk about some of these other works of art on the stage that you have here.
Certainly. The one beside you is a farm up in New Hampshire. I used to live in Londonderry, New Hampshire, for a short time with my children and my first husband, and this is Max Apple Farms. And I would pass it every day going to and from town to my home. And at Halloween time, especially, it got particularly beautiful to me. The leaves dropped from the apple trees, and there were pumpkin patches all around. And it just got kind of eerie and spooky, but beautiful all at the same time. And sunset time was just gorgeous. So that's what I wanted to paint, was that little piece of beauty in New Hampshire. And I just enjoy. I've done it in like 5 different versions, but this is my favorite.
I feel like I can put myself there, especially because it's that time of the year right now.
Yeah, you can just meander down that road, and I think I was meandering down the road the whole time I was painting it. So that's the kind of thing I do. I get into the feeling of it and express myself through paint.
Then I am dying to know what you were feeling in this picture, because this is really cool.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
Well, first of all, I was dating a martial artist between my first marriage and my second marriage. I was single for about 12 years. And one of the men I dated was a martial artist. And he was very disciplined, very strict, very rigid. I admired his principles, and I wanted to learn as much as I could. We did Taekwondo together. We went to his sensei and studied. I wanted to know, how, not only just how to defend myself physically, but defend myself with words. If people attack me with words, I want to know what to say to diffuse it and, be gentle and not be disruptive or unkind in any way. So I was very enthusiastic about spending that year and a half I did with him. But also, for the same reason I enjoyed his company so much, it was restrictive at the same time. So when we did break up, I rushed home and got this biggest canvas, and I had to paint how I felt. And it was happiness and freedom. So that's the title of the story here. And I just painted these delightful colors and the joy that I felt. And I actually, when I was painting it, I turned the canvas was turned the other way, so that the gravity worked on the drips going down. But then when I knew that when I hung it, I would be turning it upside down, and the drips are going up.
Very cool.
So that was fun. That
nice.
was just a fun release of trying to be disciplined for so long.
That's great. And we have it right in our conference room, so now we know
Yes.
the story behind it.
Yeah.
So you have so many beautiful pieces here at the Media Center. When is your reception, and why should the community come?
Oh, I hope everybody that can come will come. I'm excited to share all these paintings and the stories behind them. I think they are spiritual in many cases, and it'd be very inspiring and uplifting for anybody to come in and take a look. My first reception will be October 11th. It's a Wednesday here at the Media Center. It's going to be from 2 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening. And the second reception will be November 9th. It's a Thursday, and the same time will hold true from 2 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening. So I hope everyone can make it. I have some champagne and some wine, and I've catered a lovely amount of bakery products and some other snacks. So we'll have refreshments, and it's free to the public, so please find some time to come over. And if you can't make the 2 reception dates, please stop by the Media Center at some point and just go through any of the times that they're open. 9 to 9,
We
Monday
are
through
open 9
Thursday?
to 9, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5 on Fridays, 9 to 1 on Saturdays.
There
So
you
there's
go.
plenty of time for you to come in and see this beautiful artwork that we have hanging here. So again, Sedona, thank you for coming in today and
thanks for letting
sharing
me be
some
here,
of the
Brianna.
stories behind this artwork. I know there are many, many more.
Yes.
So thank you for watching the gallery. I'm Brianna Gustafson.